Good morning. Um, if it's morning where you are. If it's not, good day, good evening. Hopefully it's not the middle of the night when you're watching this. I just want to ask you a question. When's the last time you've seen a sunrise? Are you like I was 4 years ago, where I got up at 5 in the morning, flipped the lights on, and then started work at 6, and then didn't get done till 7, 8 o'clock, with a quick break in the middle, where I proceeded to maybe run a couple errands. If I was outside, I had sunglasses on. I never really seen the sun. And then I had it brought to my attention. I was struggling with some health issues about how important sun exposure is and how it regulates just about everything in our body, from sleep to our immune system. All of our organs have a circadian rhythm and a circadian clock to them that's set by the sun. If you think of the sun as a giant Wi-Fi router that's giving out information to our cells to tell our body what hormones to produce, everything from beta endorphins to nitric oxide, you name it, particularly through the eye. The eye is a sensor that picks all this stuff up. You start going, wow, I literally was a human zoo animal for, gosh, who knows how long. I mean, I would go outside and go fishing and stuff, but most of the time I was covered up. I was wearing sunglasses. But the majority of the time, I spent my time inside. So I'm going to talk to you today about how you can light up your life, so to speak. Some simple things you can do. The first thing I did is, when I realized I had this problem, is I made my mornings my priority. And depending on, this is really important to me, and it's been really important for my health. So I basically freed up my morning schedule. I had to let go of a lot of clients who I really liked working with, but you got to save yourself before you can help others. But I am right now. If I'm doing work, I have a desk I put outside my gym in the morning, and I spend as much time as I can out here in the morning, from sunrise until I start working at 9 o'clock. And it's been probably the biggest difference maker for me in my sleep, in my mood, in my energy. It's been I really look forward to my morning. So if you can go for a walk in the morning, if you can sit outside, have your breakfast. If you're inside, if you can open a window so there's no, if you have open light coming through a window, that'd be beneficial as well. And I usually sit out here with my shirt off for a while. I wanted to spare you of that, so I put a shirt on to film this. But usually I sit outside, and I've had the police called on me a couple times. People driving by, there's a guy outside sitting with his shirt off. It's pretty funny. So I make morning sun is my no-go, that's my no. That's just a must do. Everywhere I go, I try to be out at sunrise for at least 15-20 minutes, maybe longer. If you're driving in your car, crack your sunroof, open your window just a little bit, let that light in. If you're in your house, open a window, get some light, natural light in. That natural light is going to do wonders for you. Sun breaks, I leave the doors open now at the gym, the outside doors, rain or shine, cold or hot. I got some natural light coming in. There's also some things I did with the indoor lighting, which was just kind of a band-aid. I put some black lights in just to make it a little better. It's not perfect, but it's better. Build a solar callus. And I'm going to post a really good article by a friend of mine named Leland Stillman underneath here in the YouTube video. Because as soon as you talk to people about going outside, they automatically, skin cancer. So he goes into detail in there and cites all sorts of studies about solar exposure and skin cancer and the risk of melanoma. But, building a solar callus protects you. You just don't, if you haven't been in the sun for 20 years like I was, you just don't go out and sit at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and burn. You slowly start your exposure, especially in the morning and at sunset. you're going to get a lot more red light, which is going to help build your solar callus. It's going to help your body produce more melanin. And it's also, it's just going to help protect you from afternoon sun, which you need some of that afternoon sun to produce vitamin D. So, I can go to Mexico. I've been to Mexico a number of times since I started taking light seriously, and I'm a Scottish white guy, and I'm able to stay out in Mexico pretty much all day without burning. Obviously, there's some common sense in there, like you start feeling like you're going to burn, you get in the shade. But I've been able to build my solar callus up significantly since I started making this a priority. And probably the last thing is get the lights off at night. Melatonin and vitamin D. Vitamin D is super important. If you're not getting outside, you're not getting your vitamin D. And then, so if you spend your whole day inside, you don't get vitamin D, which is pretty much linked to every disease you could possibly imagine. And then at night, melatonin, we make melatonin in the morning through morning sun exposure, and then it's activated at night through darkness. Well, if you're staring at your screen at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, you're not going to be, activating that melatonin, and melatonin is essential for, cell recycling, and is linked to cancer and everything else. You see that with night shift workers. People that work night shifts have a much higher rate of cancer and heart disease, and pretty much they've labeled night shift as a carcinogen. So if you've got your lights on at in the evening, so I recommend getting off your phone as soon as you can. I know it definitely helps me go to sleep if I get the phone off. I put my phone on. I have a red screen that I can find a link, put that in there, how to turn your phone red. But any kind of bright light at night, you definitely want to get away from, and get your overhead lights off the best you can. If you have to do work at night, I highly suggest getting some blue blocking glasses to help you with that. So just a video here, short video to sum up how important getting light in your life is. And if you're like most humans today, you are spending 90% of your time inside, and you're living under lights that have only been really in existence for a couple hundred years for the light bulb, 100 years, and then the LEDs and all the fluorescents have only been around for not very long. And sunlight changes throughout the day, the light spectrum changes, the information that it's giving out is totally different than what we've created on this earth. So hopefully you found this useful and you're able to apply some of this in your life.